are. Hello.
Hi.
Happy Monday, everyone. You know what? I'm going to switch you over to this side so I can try to make eye contact with you and still be looking at my camera. Tricks of the trade.
It's a little fun.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to the Attractions Podcast. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Becky, for joining me today, stepping in for Carly, who
Yeah,
is, of course, on another adventure.
Of course she is. When isn't she? I'm excited to be here. It's been a while since we had a chance to catch up, so this is really cool.
We're going to talk in just a minute about what you've been up to lately, how your holidays were, and any travel you've had recently. But I'm very glad that you were able to make time and hang out with us today. We were just chatting before about a cruise that I just got off of, discussing MSC. And maybe I'll mention that just in a bit when we start recording. But I'm going to wait here just a second to see if some people jump in the chat and if we have a few pre-show comments. But yeah, thanks. So what were you up to today, Becky? That you obviously you were busy running MEI and Mouse Fan Travel today. So thanks for taking time out of that, because I know that's
right now we're in the middle of what they call wave season.
Wave season. You know what? I just last night wrote an article about wave season and how this has turned into the best time of year to get a good deal on a cruise.
Always. And in travel in general hits right now because everybody just got back from their Christmas holidays and talking and thinking where they want to go next year. So it's perfect time.
Everyone's busy paying off the bills from Christmas. So if you do have extra cash to invest in your travel for 2026, now's the time to do it, because
now's the time.
Some great deals. And we got some folks in the chat already. Hello from No 9967. Hello there. Also, hello from Orange Blossom and Tails over in Derek's Corner. Welcome, folks. And we can't have an Attractions Podcast without Michael Bingham checking in, reminding everyone that today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope some of you out there have the day off. Not me.
But I will celebrate.
Our offices are closed today, but I am here with you folks. All right. Well, we've got quite a few people already in the chat. So, Becky, if you are ready, I am ready to kick this thing off. What do you say? Let's do it.
Let's do this thing.
3, 2, 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
Hi, and I'm Becky.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And this week, my usual co-host, Carly, is off on her usual adventures, and we are lucky enough to have Becky from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel stepping in and helping us out. It's been a while, so how have you been? How are your holidays? And what kind of travel adventures have you been on lately?
Oh my gosh. I will say we'll hit the holidays for a second really quickly. I was actually home. I was actually home for 3.5 weeks. For me,
and for those of us in the travel industry, that just being home is a vacation.
Absolutely. Last year I did 256 days on the road.
Oh my goodness.
So to be home, and people always ask me, well, you're
like a touring musician or something in a
pretty
band.
Much. And they say, what do you do on vacation? It's like me, my jammies, and my home. That is a vacation for me. But I'm really excited because it's more about not where I've been, but what's coming up for me. I have a couple of sailings on the Disney Cruise Line Destiny just in a couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that. Plus, those of you who got the opportunity to see the ship in Port Canaveral, the Adventure came in. I didn't get to see it, but I do get to go in April. So I'm really excited to see that ship.
Well, I did get to see the Adventure as a complete surprise. Did not plan on it, but I was hosted on a cruise on the MSC Grandiosa out of Port Canaveral this past weekend. Perfect timing to escape the hard freeze that we've had here in Central Florida. Coldest day in 1,000 days here in Florida, and I missed it because I was off on a cruise. Thank you very much, MSC. But what I did not expect was that the Disney Adventure would make its first visit to the United States, stopping in Port Canaveral on its way almost around the world. Started out in the shipyards in Germany, crossed over. It's going to go from Florida through the Panama Canal, right up to California. And then it's going to be sailing to Tokyo and then finally to its final destination out of Singapore. So very exciting and very controversial. What I'll say is that I went up on the top deck of the MSC Grandiosa and shot a video of the whole ship from the exterior and posted it. Typically, I get maybe 2,000 or 3,000 views on a video. I've gotten over 300,000 views on that video in the last couple days, and thousands and thousands of comments. A lot of them very positive. Got a very nice comment from a senior vice president of Disney Cruise Lines, but also a lot of criticism about the shape of the ship, the size of the ship, the styling of the ship. It is a very big departure from the traditional Disney Art Deco, classic cruise line.
Yeah, but because
silhouette that they've had.
Absolutely, but because of they swooped in and purchased it when it was already pretty much done. The bones were already in place. There's no way to change it. I think they did a really good job Disney-fying it, of course, taking over something.
Yeah, anyone who says that they did this on the cheap needs to look at the budget, because they spent billions of dollars on this thing.
A lot of money.
And it shows. I mean, a Disney ship with a roller coaster on it is definitely quite a change, a thing to behold. And it's not for the American market. That's the one thing. People who are judging it based against the Disney ships they're used to, it's not for you. It's for a completely new market segment that I think will appreciate what they have to offer.
And it still isn't the largest ship afloat right now. That's being held by the icon of the season, the star of the season from Royal Caribbean. These are only, I think, 206 gross tonnage, where those are 250. So it is significantly smaller, but because the ships go nowhere, they have to have a lot of things on board. These ships start in Singapore, end there, and stop at 0 ports. So you do kind of have to have a pretty large behemoth to entertain that many people for that many days.
You are absolutely right. It'd be an interesting experience to just be at sea on one of those ships.
I'm gonna see what that's like.
Yeah, I'm very excited for you. I've got a friend who is married to one of the designers and might be taking one of the preview cruises, and I can't wait to hear what they have to say. So
that'd be amazing.
So without any further ado, I think it is time now for us to jump into the news in the queue. All right, well, we've got quite a bit of Universal news this week, and we are going to start out at Universal Studios, or should I say just the Universal Orlando Resort, because we have a mystery announcement that is being teased with social media posts, and it looks like a new attraction will finally be confirmed tomorrow on January 20th. Here's what we know for sure, and here is what we think is happening. So Universal has posted some brief teaser videos on their social media platforms. These went up on January 17th. They've got they look like a speedometer on a car, and there's an odometer at the bottom which reads 01/20/26, so a reference to the date. And then it has the speedometer going up to right around 70 miles an hour. So what could they possibly have to reveal? Do you have any hints, any clue, Becky? Because I don't know. I'm stumped what they could possibly be talking
I have no idea. However, what I was really hoping for was that thing would hit 88. I was really looking. Watching.
You are not the only person who is said
notice
that.
how it's hidden. You can see it's heading that way, but it's hidden at the top, so you really can't tell. But obviously Fast and Furious comes right to mind, but they really haven't, my personal opinion, they really haven't been that successful with the attractions they've done in that IP, but who knows?
Well, I think that you have hit upon the worst kept secret in the theme park industry. Universal is notorious for getting stuff halfway built before they even acknowledge that anything is happening. So I think we are in, actually, this is early for them to be announcing a ride that I am presuming will not be open to the public until 2027. But this is very obviously a hint about the roller coaster that can be easily seen under construction in the front of Universal Studios Florida, replacing the not so beloved Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which has been ripped down. And footers are well underway. There are cranes, there are big construction moving things. We just talked in a previous episode about the first vertical construction on what we think is going to be a maintenance building out behind where the former Ghostbusters firehouse is. So that whole side of the park that was previously taken up by Rip Ride Rocket, it's a roller coaster. It's definitely a roller coaster. We can even know by the permits that it's a roller coaster from Intamin, which right now is about to open the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket erase all that. The Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster, opening soon, early this year in Hollywood. And all of the rumors have been around this being a East Coast version of that West Coast roller coaster. You hit it dead on talking about hoping that speedometer would go to 88 miles an hour because the construction. Exactly. The construction wall that is right outside of where this is going up has been Universal Creative. Oh my gosh. I'm having a morning. It's Monday. Universal Creative has been teasing us all for weeks by plastering posters referencing Back to the Future, the Blues Brothers, even Jimmy Fallon, teasing what this new ride could be with posters on this wall. I think the biggest clue that this is another Fast and Furious roller coaster is the West Coast version of this ride is confirmed to go 72 miles per hour. And that speedometer definitely does not hit up to 88, but it seems to me like it comes pretty darn close to 72 miles an hour. I don't think they could hint it any more clearly than that. So I think
makes sense.
I think what I really like us to do is speculate. Okay, if a Fast and the Furious roller coaster is officially coming to Universal, can we agree that that spells doom for the current supercharged ride, which will make pretty much no one cry if that goes away?
We could throw a small party just for the fun of it, but yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah. But that was a not insignificant investment in ride hardware with those trackless RVs and the video tunnel and all that. I think we can assume that if Fast and Furious closes, then it gets not demolished and completely rebuilt, but reskinned, maybe with a new theme and IP. So what would you like to see Fast and the Furious? I've talked about this before with Carly and some of my other co-hosts. If Fast and Furious goes away, what do you want? What could you see going into that space?
See, and you're going to hit me up with something like that where I'm going to play Libra and go, I have so many things on the sides like, into that.
Me too.
Now I am a fan of Fast and Furious. I just think that they have not really hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head to bring that movie experience to life when you walk into the park. So I remember going to the very first one in Universal Studios. I think you were there too, and we were so excited to walk onto that attraction. And you walked up and went, "Huh? Is this really what I just did?"
To quote the Linda Richmond character from Saturday Night Live, Fast and Furious is neither fast nor furious. Discuss. So a roller coaster that goes 70 something miles an hour, that would definitely do a better job of capturing the thrills.
That's significant, especially if it was in a competition where you had two going at the same time.
Oh, well,
that could be
side-by-side dueling coasters,
Yeah.
from what we've seen of the construction permit, it does not look like parallel tracks. That might be a little too much to dream for. But
wouldn't that be cool?
Well, it would be very cool. Watching, though, the drifting feature as they test the version out in Hollywood, it does look like it's going to be a spectacular experience. If you can imagine Guardians of the Galaxy, but with loops, I think it's going to take that vehicle concept to a whole nother level. But speaking of what could replace Supercharged, like you, I have so many ideas of what could go into them, and I don't want to pick just one. So my dream would be for it to be the retro Universal Studio Tour. Maybe Doc Brown could hook some flux capacitors up to that party bus, repaint it like the old glamour trams, and take us back to the past of Universal. We could go through Earthquake. We could go through Confrontation. Obviously, Back to the Future would have to be the big finale. But something, using those video screens and the motion simulator to recreate highlights from lost Universal rides. And then you could have the pre-shows, have a little bit of that old school Alfred Hitchcock, Murder, She Wrote kind of thing as the pre-shows, because we've lost all that movie making stuff.
That would be incredible. And yeah, that's what I was going to say for Universal Studios in Florida, is that we have lost all of that. All of the touch points were over in Hollywood. You still have that.
Yes.
You still
Thank
can go
goodness.
through. Yeah, you got a little
Thank
bit
goodness
of
that studio tour is still there. That's definitely the heart of Hollywood.
Exactly. But if you could figure out don't get me wrong, the scariest movie in the entire planet to me, besides some stuff I'm not going to go into, is Jaws. If they could turn that into a really immersive 3D, you're swimming away from the shark type immersive attraction, I don't know if I would write it, but I think I'd like it.
Well, I tell you, the Jaws ride is the reason to take a trip out to Osaka and visit Universal Japan, because it still exists there. But the second best thing was when the Jaws had its anniversary this past year, they brought the movie in 4DX. So with 3D moving seats, water spraying at you, and that if they could, do that in a theme park environment, I would do that again.
I would scare the bejesus out of me.
Don't go in the water. Don't go in the water.
Take me back to my 8-year-old self. It's like, no.
Well, in other Universal news, Universal Orlando is going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Can you believe a quarter century since that hit movie theaters? Every time I hear about them remaking Harry Potter as a TV show on HBO, I'm like, too soon. But no, it's been 25 years. So yes, it was 2001 when we all went to cinemas, or those of us who were born yet went to cinemas to see Harry Potter on the big screen for the first time. Warner Brothers is going to be doing a global theatrical re-release of the film this year, but Universal Orlando is also going to be celebrating with a series of events throughout the year. And these are mostly events that they have had before, but they're going to be plussing them up a little for the 25th.
which is
So
so exciting I love when they do celebrations like this because, of course, they can pull out all the stops
yeah.
and bring us back to the first day, but like you, 25 years, how did that happen? I'm having a hard time with that. But
Uh,
then if you look at the kids and they're all grown up now, yeah, okay, I can see why or how it happened, but I still don't believe it.
I um I don't want to dive into anything too controversial, but there was a more innocent time
Yeah,
when you could kind of it was uncomplicated to love the stories and the books and the characters and remembering those like midnight book releases and going
oh,
to the
perfect
final
time.
film,
Yeah.
at the premiere. And you can't really have quite that same uncomplicated relationship with it
Right.
anymore.
Or
But I think we
remember
can all still agree that butterbeer is pretty good, right?
Oh, yes, but then you have the choice. Is it better hot? Is it better frozen? Is it better however? But
Well, you can make that decision during butterbeer season, which is
which is
coming up
coming.
March 1st through May 31st. I feel like it expands. It started out as just a few weeks, and now we've got like a whole season of butterbeer season, right?
I'm okay with that.
Um,
I'm not mad about that at all.
and you are right. This is the perfect time to decide. Do you like it hot? Do you like it cold? Do you like it frozen? Um,
Yes,
there
yes,
are
yes.
This year there are two new options to add to the mix: a butterbeer cream puff and a butterbeer flavored
Ooh,
chocolate bar. I'm sorry, that was in 2025. Those were the two new ones. We don't yet know what the new ones for 2026 will be. Hopefully those will return. Um, there's also, of course, butterbeer ice cream. Let's have it. What is your favorite?
okay. I loved frozen for the longest time, and then
Mm.
somebody said, "No, you gotta try butterbeer hot." I'm thinking, "No, I don't. It's Florida, and it's gonna, resonate. It's wrong." I tried it hot. I like hot. So I
Mm.
guess it's to the weather at that point. If it's 150 billion degrees and 120% humidity, give me the frozen.
I was gonna say, on a day like today, I'm sure there is a line out the door for the hot butterbeer,
How about
not
you?
so much the
Which
frozen.
one's your favorite?
I if it's hot out, it's the frozen. If it's cold out, it's the hot. Never go for the cold. It's just sort of in between for me.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
yeah.
I I will say that I am a fan of. They won't officially let you do this, but you can get a hot butterbeer, and you can also get a shot of fire whiskey on the side while the bartender has got their
Floater.
back turned. Just- that's a good pick me up in the morning, let me tell you.
Breakfast
Good
booze. Got it.
eye
Yeah,
opener. Breakfast of Triwizard Champions.
there you go. Nice.
Coming up after that, August 1st through September 1st is back to Hogwarts time. Did you get your letter? If so, it's time to do your school shopping. It's also a time of exclusive food. They bring the Hogwarts Always light show back, and they've got some fun photo ops. And then finally, for fall of 2026, Dark Arts will return in the
Oh,
Halloween season, and they finally are bringing back the Dark Arts at Hogwarts Castle Light Show. This has been gone for a couple of years for
finally.
really no good reason, and I'm so happy to have it back.
I'm excited about that. That's
Yeah,
one of the things I love so much about being there, is seeing the castle lights, however they do it for Christmas or
yeah.
the different shows they bring in. It adds a new element to being there and being entertained in the land, and
Mhm.
I'm all for it.
Here is my hot tip. My favorite way to end a night at Hogsmeade at Islands of Adventure. You step into the standby queue for Hagrid's exactly as they are closing it at park closing. And then just a little bit into the queue, there's a little overlook where you can stand and have a perfect view of the light show. They'll do the last light
Ooh,
show of the night just a few minutes after they close the queue. You can stand there and watch the light show, and by the time you're done watching it, everyone else has been standing in the line in front of you. You just get at the end of it, and uh, that line really starts moving once all of the people with express are gone. So
that's kinda
you'll
brilliant.
be on and off a half hour or so after the park closes.
That's really cool. I have not tried that, so
Yep,
I have something
hot
new to
tip.
try. Yeah.
And then finally, we wrap up the year with the Christmas in the Wizarding World celebration, November 14th of 2026 through January 3rd, 2027. Can you believe we were talking about
No,
2027 already?
I can't.
Yes, they'll be celebrating once again in both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, but also the Ministry of Magic, which celebrated its first Christmas in Epic Universe just last month. They'll be bringing back the special Christina celebrating. I can speak English today. They'll be bringing back the special Celestino Warbeck shows and the Frog Choir, as well as that great Magic at Christmas at Hogwarts Castle show.
My favorite time there.
And we will bring you more updates and details about how they'll be integrating the 25th anniversary into these events as more details come out throughout the year.
And I'm sure we'll see some merch.
All right. Now for something slightly different. We're heading out to the West Coast, where Universal Studios Hollywood is getting ready for the second edition of Universal Fan Fest Nights. It was a big hit last year. This year, the big headliner is Scooby-Doo. Scooby and the Mystery Gang will be joining up to solve a mystery involving the classic Universal monsters, and it will be your opportunity to walk on the historic back lot where some of the most famous monster movies of all time were filmed. This, for me, they're not doing the Back to the Future experience, which was the highlight of last year's event, because Courthouse Square is being used for filming this year. But this, to me, is the next best thing. Did you get to attend Fan Fest Nights, or did you get any feedback from any of your clients who attended Fan Fest Nights last year?
I did not get to go myself. However, the feedback was great. People
Mm.
felt like they were walking into the movie. They
Yeah.
were a part of it. And
Yeah.
again, the most overused word is immersive, but this
Mhm.
really was. And when I think about Scooby-Doo, this goes back to my childhood. So I
Uh-huh.
just need to get a pair of jammies and a bowl of cereal and watch from the
Yeah.
sidelines. But this is a really cool concept to be part of the Scooby Gang and to, figure out where the monsters are and hunt them down. I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, we have had Scooby-Doo attractions in theme parks all over the world. My favorite is there's a Mystery Mansion ride inside Abu Dhabi Warner Brothers World.
I've never been there.
Really, really great trackless dark ride. It's like kind of up there almost with Mystic Manor.
Wow.
Not quite the same budget, but Dave Cobb worked on it. Great designer. But what I love about this is not just a passive ride through experience or a film or a meet and greet. This is a interactive walking experience where you're going to help solve a mystery, almost like an open air escape room, maybe, or a live action role playing experience. They did really great things with the Back to the Future, the Star Trek walkthrough experience. So if neither of those themes are coming back, this would be my top pick. If nothing else, because you'll be able to encounter Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, in the sets, the iconic Court of Miracles sets, where those movies were actually made back in the 1930s and 40s. I've driven through there a million times on the studio tram tour, but I've never gotten to get off the tram and walk around that. So that seems amazing. And what's also amazing to me is how I thought they would jack up the price of this after the first year, but tickets for this start at only $74, and we are used to like hard ticket events at Disney basically costing the same or more as a full day ticket, and this is about half the price of a day admission. So I think this is going to be a big hit again. And in addition to Scooby-Doo, we'll move on to our next story, which is that the other big addition is going to be a Wizarding World of Harry Potter Forbidden Forest walkthrough attraction that will be part of the Fan Fest. It will let you visit the Forbidden Forest in search of a lost hippogriff guided by a Hogwarts professor. And you're going to encounter all sorts of magical creatures and fantastic beasts, along the way, challenge a series of obstacles, and have to cast some spells in order
Of
to help
course.
the hippogriff. Um, again, this is another dream come true for
Mhm.
Harry Potter fans who want, something more than riding a ride or shopping or watching a show, an immersive, interactive experience. I'm just curious where exactly this is going to go. A lot of the other experiences are in
True.
sound stages or on the back lot. I did notice that they had some construction walls around the extended queue of the Harry Potter attraction. So
Oh.
if they could maybe integrate this, almost like they, build haunted houses into the extended queues of some of the
Oh, right.
rides for Halloween.
That would make
If
sense.
they could make this, it would be great if it was actually outdoors, because there's a lot of extended queue around that mountain that isn't used most of the time.
That's really true. And
So
one
that
thing
would be
they
a
do have
cool
is
place to put it.
they have the love of space a little
Yeah.
bit more in that area. So,
Mhm.
and I love these concepts. I love how they're bringing these little pop-up adventures
Yeah.
in so that you can experience it a little bit differently than you normally would from when they bring Harry Potter into the area. So I'm excited about this.
I am very tempted to take a try. When I heard, I gotta say, I told Carly when I heard Back to the Future wasn't going to be in this, I said, nah, I'm not going to skip it. But I'm starting to get excited. I'm tempted to see if I can make a trip out there. Other things that will be included in addition to Scooby-Doo and Harry Potter, they are bringing the One Piece live show to the Waterworld Amphitheater. This was running in Japan when I was out in Japan. And I'm sure they were going to modify it because it was almost an hour-long show in Japan, and it was an upcharge, and it was completely packed. And if you didn't know One Piece, it was completely incomprehensible. So
Never seen it.
I assume it is a very popular, extremely long-running animated, and there's also a live-action version about pirates. And very popular with the younger folks. So I'm sure that'll be a big hit, but I'm sure they'll have to slim it down somewhat. There's also going to be a Yoshi celebration in Super Nintendo World,
I'm
and
okay with that.
they are bringing back the Dungeons and Dragons walkthrough adventure, Secrets of the Waterdeep. That was the one they collaborated with the Henson Creature Shop to build that giant Eye of the Beholder puppet. So
I'm going
lots of
back,
good
I
stuff.
think. I'm going to California. Bye.
All right. Well, we'll have to coordinate our trip and meet up out there. All right. And last but certainly not least, we are hopping over to Walt Disney World. The one thing that made me sad about my cruise was it meant I missed the opening weekend of Disney's Festival of the Arts at Epcot, which has turned into my favorite festival over there, because I'm a theater kid at heart, and I love the artistry that they put into all of the food, and I love the artistry that you see up on stage during the Disney on Broadway concerts.
Right.
And I'm especially happy to see that this year, the Communicore Hall has expanded its Disney on Broadway exhibit with some really interesting new installations. And I got to say, this is probably the best the Communicore Hall has ever looked. I don't know what your feelings are on Communicore Hall, but it could use the glow up.
In a nutshell, how I look at it is it's a multi-purpose space that you can dress up anywhere you need, anytime you need it.
Yeah. I mean, they basically tore down a big empty space that had kind of a vintage early 80s style,
Right.
and replaced it with I don't know, an airport lobby, or a big prefab box, basically. But it's what's inside that counts, right?
Exactly.
And what's inside this year are some really interesting exhibits that give you a behind the scenes peek into what it takes to put one of Disney's big musical shows on Broadway. They've had an exhibit like this last year, which was fine. It had some nice props and costumes and models of sets. And a lot of that stuff is back this year. including costumes from The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Frozen. Some great photo ops. I love the prop version of Olaf and Sven that they have on display from Frozen. But when I really want to draw people's attention to is the backstage setups, which are these little vignettes that give you a peek at what the technical staff does, the makeup and hair artists, the sound operators, and especially, this warms my heart so much, the tribute to the stage managers. Stage managers are one of the least understood and appreciated roles. That was my job for many years. I called many a show. I still have PTSD from calling certain musicals. I called to the Barney show at Universal for a while, and I still have "I Love You, You Love Me" ringing in my head all these years later.
The cues are constantly going off in your head in your sleep.
So they have this amazing little booth that shows you, what it's like to be in the backstage wing as a stage manager, looking at a call sheet, you can hear them calling the cues, you can see all their monitors, and it's a great little simulation of what it's like to be in that high pressure environment. So I'm so happy to see that.
I love that. I love the fact that they've kind of opened up the curtains so you can go behind the scenes and check out these really important jobs and roles that bring all this to life. So bravo for them to do that.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever spent any time backstage in the theater, or anyone in your family? Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember if you were aware. I was an LD, a lighting designer.
Oh, that's right.
Of
course. Yes, of course.
And I did pyro. So
yes,
I was always in the backstage, and the stage managers either loved me or hated me. It was a great thing.
Well, and when you're calling pyro, it's one thing to hit a light cue too soon and the light goes on. It's another thing you hit a pyro cue too soon and someone blows up. So you had a very important job.
That's bad. That's very
bad. Well, in addition to all of that, they also this year have a significant presence for the Disney Lorcana trading card game, which I know absolutely nothing about. I played Magic the Gathering the first time it was popular and haven't touched a trading card game since then. So if you are into that, we have a guide on our website to the festival, as well as a guide to how to get the new Figment popcorn bucket. You have to use mobile order for this year, and they are in high demand. So check out our coverage of all of that at attractionsmagazine.com.
I love that little popcorn bucket, but I look at those things, I'm like, what would I do with it?
Exactly.
More shelf space.
I collected a couple of them. You can see from the shelf behind me, I have way too much stuff already. I don't need any more.
Purge mode. I finally got when you're wandering around, it's like, oh, I have to have this. Where would I put it? I'll take a picture of it, and you slowly walk away.
Well, before we jump into our main attraction, it is time to hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
And while we're at it,
our Epic Universe magazine is the ultimate grand opening souvenir for Orlando's newest theme park. It's got 64 pages of photos, vacation planning advice, and behind-the-scenes secrets from all 5 portals: Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Celestial Park. It's not every day a new theme park opens in Orlando, so mark the moment and celebrate history with the Attractions Magazine Epic Universe grand opening issue. Now available at attractionsmagazine.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
And for this week's main attraction, there has been a disturbance in the Force. Something that Disney Imagineers once told us would never happen is happening. And the original Star Wars trilogy timeline is coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but only Batuu West. This is only happening for now in Disneyland in California. in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Orlando, and Walt Disney World will remain in the sequel trilogy timeline set somewhere in between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, except when they import special characters during special celebrations. But starting April 29th, 2026, you will be able to meet classic characters like Darth Vader, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker on a regular basis in Galaxy's Edge. And I have some mixed feelings about this.
Oh, okay.
So let's first talk about what exactly is changing. And we have, this is not, this is related, but not necessarily connected to the changes we've previously discussed on the show coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. That ride we already knew was going to be updated to introduce the Mandalorian and Grogu on the same day that their movie hits theaters on May 22nd. So that will be happening inside the Millennium Falcon ride. Everything else we're talking about is going to be taking place outside of the attractions themselves. It's in the land, it's the shops. So the first thing you're going to notice, previously, the only time you heard any music was when you were passing through the tunnels to enter Galaxy's Edge. There was a little hint of this new orchestral score, this new theme that John Williams wrote. And I believe he won a Grammy for it. And it's about 90 seconds worth of music. It's maybe the shortest piece of music he ever wrote that he won a Grammy for, and hardly anyone has ever heard it. And then the rest of the land, you would not hear any Star Wars music. You would maybe hear a radio here or there playing some music, or you would hear DJ Rex inside the cantina playing some music, but it was all in-world music. It was never the Star Wars background music that we're used to. Well, that's all going to change because you are going to be hearing excerpts from John Williams' classic scores from all of the films playing throughout the land, creating atmosphere. So that's a change that I can kind of get around. I understand what they were going for. They wanted to be a realistic, real-world environment. But I'm perfectly immersed in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and that has the background music from the movies playing all the time. That doesn't bother me. So I think I could get used to this. What about you?
Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic because again, you need those little pieces to touch on your memory and bring you into the space. So for me, bring on all the music, and like you, Harry Potter, I'm good with it. It really enhance it.
Okay, well, that's one change we can both agree on. The next change that I think a lot of people will definitely be happy about is more characters. A lot of people have asked, where are our favorite characters? You know, you could meet Chewbacca. You could run into Kylo Ren and the First Order Stormtroopers. And there was a unique character called V. Maradi, who I think is maybe headed towards the unemployment line. I noticed that there was a original draft of the press release that went out that had her name included as characters you would still meet, and then when it was updated, her name was quietly removed. So she might not be around anymore. But Darth Vader, who's probably the most popular Star Wars meet and greet character, is going to relocate from where he's been hiding out at the mostly defunct Star Wars launch bay, and will be striding around the area of the land, around the Blue Milk area mostly, with his classic stormtroopers in tow. And I know people will be very happy to see him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now the interesting thing is, so they're going to keep Darth Vader around the area where Kylo Ren's ship was. I guess maybe they'll redecorate it or just rename it and say that that it was really Darth's ship. You're also going to be able to bump into Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo, but it sounds like they are going to be around the Millennium Falcon, and maybe Han Solo is going to be ducking into Oga's cantina from time to time.
Shocker.
So those folks are all from the original trilogy timeline. But then you've got characters like the Mandalorian and Grogu and Ahsoka, who, like the Mandalorian, that show takes place years after Darth Vader has died. So I don't think he's going to be bumping into Darth Vader. So those characters, I think, are going to be kind of in the middle section, around where the Black Spire Outpost shops are. And then finally, it looks like Rey is going to be relegated out by the Rise of the Resistance ride. She's going to be that Rise of the Resistance area, that rebel camp, or I'm sorry, resistance camp right around there. It's going to stay in the sequel trilogy. But it looks like that's the only place that's going to still be set where the original land was. So it might all be a little confusing about, you walk 20 feet and you've just jumped back 20 years in time. But I think most people are probably just happy to see these characters. And most people probably have more emotional attachment to the old films than they do the newer ones.
Yeah, I'm definitely a 4, 5, and 6 gal myself. So
yep, for sure.
So when this news hit, I was very excited because it does open up another opportunity to experience it in a different way. So yeah, while it's now breaking down the initial story that they served us up with when it first came out for Galaxy's Edge, I am a believer in test and adjust, and moving forward to open up those experiences and different characters and get you more excited to be in the land. So I hear that you had a little hesitation when you said, "I'm not sure what I think." Where are you?
Here's the thing. I think this is going to make people happy. But I do think that they are pinning the blame on the wrong thing. That the Galaxy's Edge has underperformed. I just seeing the letters that I get from readers of the unofficial guides, it did not live up to people's expectations for the franchise in the same way that the Wizarding World did. But I don't think the problem was the lack of music or the lack of classic characters. I think the problem was that a lot of the ambitious stuff that they promised us, they just plain dropped and didn't do anything as a substitute. We were promised a dinner show. We were promised aliens roaming around the cantina. Instead, we got 2 drinks, 45 minutes, stand at the bar, get the heck out. We were promised that there would be battles roaming throughout the area with characters having conflict, and instead they did that on the press night one time and never again. We were promised that the actions we took on the rides would affect our interactions throughout the land, and instead I think maybe one time I had one of the cashiers be able to see my affiliation on a little data pad that is long since defunct. So I think all of, if they had executed all of the things that they had promised, then it wouldn't have mattered so much the timeline. The people would have bought into the immersiveness and the sense of play that was originally promised to us. But instead, we got one great ride, one okay ride, and a lot of areas that just felt kind of lifeless. It's not kinetic. There's no water. There's no movement. There's no things buzzing overhead. So the area just kind of felt lifeless. And I think this is a cheaper way to make it feel more full of life.
Yeah.
But I wish they had just, not value engineered out some of the heart of what they originally intended to do.
Great points. Absolutely great points. One of the ones that I missed was when they said, yeah, and you're going to play these and then you're going to get your cred and people are going to recognize you. And I was very excited about that. I still haven't put it away. Maybe someday we'll see that again. That would be fantastic if it happened. But I do know that isn't there going to be a comic book story that's going to come out too, that's going to help bridge that gap of why those characters are at that location?
I
Or did
really
they?
hope so, because they did invest in comic books when Galaxy's Edge first opened that
Yeah.
kind of explained the backstory of Galaxy's Edge and were supposedly canon, and according to Lucasfilm. But now I guess we got to retcon all of that now and figure. Yes, I could definitely use a comic book or a video or something explaining how to exactly wrap my head around all of this timeline for sure.
Fingers crossed that we get it, because I thought that was the
Yeah.
rumor. So maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
I would appreciate that. All right. Well, either way, I'm sure that Rise of the Resistance is going to continue to draw long lines. I think
Oh,
you can
and
do
it's
just
a
about
good
anything
and it's a good thing they're rolling it out in one location first to kind of
and
test
see how
it,
it works. Yeah.
see how it goes before they take over the entire US.
Yeah. I have to assume maybe that's because Imagineering is closer to Anaheim and they want to watch closely what the changes do before they roll them out on the
Agreed.
East Coast. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's episode. But before we wrap it up, let us take a look back at some of the comments that you left us. We were commenting earlier on the Disney Adventure, the ginormous new ship. A BGT lover thinks that Disney needs even bigger ships. All right. Well, they might be listening to you.
They need to fill the ships they've got first. But I do agree.
And Paula 1966 has a question. If we think that Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan from the Knights of the Old Republic game, I do remember playing through the Knights of the Old Republic games, the original versions on Xbox a long time ago. And that actually a really great Star Wars Legends story that I think could make a great movie. I don't know if Keanu would be interested in playing a Dark Jedi or Sith Lord, but I can totally see him. That would be great fan casting.
He's fantastic.
I mean, Keanu can do anything he wants. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, before we go, we want to thank our sponsor, Becky here, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Please be sure to purchase your copy of Epic Universe magazine at our website, and please give us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen to us, and also give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Please be sure to follow attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media platforms. Becky, where can folks find you on social media?
I'm on all the socials at Becky Mankin, spelled weird, BECIMAHNKEN.
And you can find me at S. Kuberski and at The Unofficial Guides, and pick up copies of my 2026 guidebooks at theunofficialguides.com. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time. Bye.
See ya.